Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video, y'all. I believe today is Monday. Haha. I've been in meetings all day since I got in the office, essentially. And so I have been really, really busy. But I want to wish you guys all a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you guys are bringing in the week with positive and good vibes. Today was a great day actually, and I really want to say why. And let me say here's why. You guys know that I'm pretty big on, just being respected for what I do, and being treated with a level of respect for what I do, right? And for those of you guys who don't know, quote, I technically, and my boss says this all the time, the disconnect that I was having was that it was not actually verbalized to other people, right? So meaning that I was put in task to manage, but my boss calls it an indirect way of managing. So the man looks like the manager and I'm in the background, which that's how it's been feeling. That I manage a hell of a lot more than I think what people seem to want to give me credit for. Whoa, oh, that was illegal. Sorry, there was a car. I had to make sure I was going the right way. Oh, I'm not coming back this way next time. This way is a pain in the butt. We probably gonna have to jump on the highway is what I'm thinking. And or go around. That can't be the way. That's not gonna work. I don't know what they're trying to do some construction, but it seems like they did construction by this highway, but it only holds up traffic. That's what it looks like. It's not really helping traffic to, and I know you're about to stay up off my ass. I'm a Kia and I'm a boss, so you finna slow down. Sorry, it's a Kia behind me, and it's speeding up on me. But I'm like, my Kia is much nicer than yours, so I will control your speed limit, sir. You ain't bullying me into speeding faster than what I know my car. Certain roads I just won't speed on. But anywho, you guys, briefly, I feel because part of the conversation is really how do we get me to be management, right? And it's so funny because my boss was like, well, you could be the VP of accounting. But again, this is them understanding that my skill set is a lot bigger than what they're kind of limiting me to. I don't know what that car is doing. Can it go? Does she need help? I ain't got the time to be helping nobody. But I'm like, yeah, her car is supposed to be going, right? She had the right of way, not me. But she told me to go ahead, so I didn't know if she needed help or something. But today we had a meeting to kick off the season, right? And I am truly grateful that the tax manager, it's almost like he knows that, I don't know, I still am indirectly managing. However, the tax manager has made it clear, like, we set up these rules. Me and Cece did this. We did this. So that folks understand that, yeah, I'm not your reporting manager, but I am someone in charge as it relates to tax. Meaning that if the manager is not in, the next person is me, but technically it should always be me first and then the tax manager, right? So understanding that there are processes put in place, and really everyone understanding that it's imperative to stick with those processes, right? And procedures. Oh, there's a discount tire. Oh, wow. I'm like, technically, I got the right of way, sir. You better let me go. I know y'all are doing construction, but all right. So it just feels good. It's not that I'm power hungry, but I think that when you set up expectations and goals and processes, and I feel like we have more of our processes down really because I just took over. I was like, I'm not waiting on this girl to do what I need her to do because she ain't been doing it, right? And so I kind of took the initiative, and hang on, you guys, I'm about to order something really, really fast. Give me a sec.
Welcome to Taco Bell. What can we get started for you today?
Hi, yes. On your value menu, you guys have something that's folded up. It looks like a quesadilla, but that's not what is offered on the thing. Do you know what that picture is?
Yes, that's the stacker.
Let's do that. And it's not going to be hard tacos, right?
So it's not a taco. It's basically a folded quesadilla with ground beef and cheese.
Yeah, I like the folded quesadilla. Sorry, I've always wondered what that was. So can I do that, the folded quesadilla thing? And then can I do a side of guac?
Okay.
And I believe that is, and I'm sure that's like one half. So let's do, that'll be all.
All right. Did you need any other sauces?
No, that'll be all. Thank you.
All right. That's gonna be $3.66, and let's make that 4 to support a local student in need.
Let's make it 4. It's fine.
Thank you so much. $4. Second window.
All right. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. I've been wondering what they had. I was gonna go to Chipotle, but I'm like, nah, girl, because I just went grocery shopping. I like stocked my fridge. Like I got greens, I got Brussels sprouts, I got like all different kinds of meats. I just need to get my ass in there and cook, okay? And last night I was not feeling it, so I'm not gonna grab too much. Just something enough to tide me over. But it feels good to know that the precedent it's being set, right? Because the conversations that are being had with me is management. And realistically, that only makes sense in my personal opinion, being that I am actually more well-rounded and versatile in different areas than I think what my boss likes to give me credit for. And I always say that I don't think it's intentional. I just think a lot of people underestimate me. Like something my boss said to me the other day, he's like, oh, I don't see you running a business. And then I'm looking at him like, well, I have a business. He's like, well, at the scale. So you could hear him backtrack a little bit. And then he was like, well, at this scale. And I'm thinking, yeah, my plan was to never run a full-on accounting firm. Like that's not really what I want to do. I want to be a one-man show or maybe 2, 3 people, right? And us knock out returns. I'm not looking at it like I want this $1 million firm. I only want to make enough money to where I never have to go to physically into work if I don't want to. You know, my goal, like I said, because I don't want to be doing accounting and tax, which I'll probably end up doing for the rest of my life. But I crochet. Like I've got actual creative hobbies that I would love to see take off the ground, right? I'm actually way more talented than just where I'm at. And so if I could utilize the money and the revenue and the income that I'm making from, what I do, which is accounting and tax, why not utilize that to be able to go in the mountains, go have my own house, and start my own boutique where I'm selling like homemade crafts and stuff like that. Like, I think that's really my bigger goal, right? I'm not really in this because I want to be like top accounting firm in Denver. No, I know that there's enough money to go around, right? My friend could be doing this and I'm still going to eat regardless if they're doing it or not. This is a field where money is always circulating. So for me, if I could solidify 100K, maybe 2K, my goal is $500,000, right? But if I could solidify enough income to be able to substantiate or enough business to substantiate my everyday work income, then that's what I'm going to do. Hang on, y'all. So the underestimation is expected. Hang on.
Hello, it's going to be $4 today.
Okay, give me. Very much, sir.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you. All right. So underestimation, something I realize is that is something I'm going to be dealing with whether I like it or not. Okay. It's not something that I can get away from and around. I think that just comes with being a pretty girl, and the territory of being a pretty girl. I think that a lot of people see pretty women naturally as being dumb. And so I feel like I'm always going to have to work 10 times harder to prove that I can do certain things. And it's very interesting because I know that I don't need to prove and or validate anybody's thoughts. Where my boss is like, hey, you're not going to run a business. He has no idea that the raise that he didn't give me, right, the income that he's not giving me, the way in which I'm able to pay my bills and live a comfortable lifestyle, because I do, essentially, it could always be better, but I do live a very comfortable lifestyle. I was about to honk. Y'all finna let me through. Sorry. Um, but I've come to learn that's part of the field, right? And like I told him, if the money is right and we're talking different kinds of numbers, then I might be willing to do some bookkeeping and accounting. But it's got to make sense. You're not paying me 50 grand, right? And thinking I'm going to do some bookkeeping. Like, I'm not, like, for real, I don't have to settle for that, right? And 50 grand, excuse me, for bookkeepers, that's actually pretty good. But I'm just saying, when the skill set is above the average and or it's becoming above the average, I'm looking at my next 2, 3 years, right? 4 years, 5 years. So when I tell my boss my goal is to make 5 million, $500,000, I'm not really seeing that as he's gonna put me in position. I see it as, okay, I'm gonna let the master shine. I'm gonna allow you to think I really don't know a lot, right? You've not taught, like, realistically, I don't do much. Like, I'm certified in payroll. I don't do payroll for this company, right? I am a certified bookkeeper. I don't do bookkeeping for this company. Do you understand me? But I do all of it for my business. And I got into this firm with the intent to take on tax. And that's because tax takes up the bulk. That's the bulk of an accountant. Like, you're making good money during tax season. So the more you can learn via tax, the much more money, more lucrative your business is going to be regardless, right? So I'm not here to compete with anybody. I'm not looking to compete against my boss at all. I am just looking to make enough money to where I am good and I don't have to depend on people who don't like me for silly things like my skin color, right? To eat. It is what it is. And obviously I like nice things. I want to live a decent lifestyle. And so I do expect that, you know. So like I said, it was real cool because even though my boss would, and again, I think it's something about men, right, would have loved to put, I'm not going any faster. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to damage my car because of potholes, sir. Shoot. All impatient. These folks is hella impatient. Not realizing my car, man, I be trying to tell these people. But anywho, that's what it is for me, you guys. Like I said, I recognize that I will always be underestimated, probably until I'm older. But I think, like I said, as long as I've got my goals, because again, my boss was like, well, how do I get you to $500,000, right? In his mind, he's really like, the wheels are really turning. And I'm looking at him like, you do know it's going to happen one way or the other, right? Like, you don't have to, I'm not dependent on you to put me in position. It's the same thing with my house. He's talking about, well, if we hit 7 million, what is a huge goal for you? I'm thinking like my goals are going to happen for me whether they happen with you or not. So it's very hard. Like some of these people, their lives are wrapped up in this firm. Mine is not. I allow my boss to believe that he has more control, right, than he actually does in as it relates to me, right? I'm not my one income is not wrapped. My two incomes are not just solely wrapped up in his business. My business has been going. I may not have as many clients, but I damn sure did a decent number last year, right? So um, I only expect that to increase. And as I learn more, as I'm with the firm, I'm going to learn more. That is an evident, right? And so as a result of, I'm expecting my goals to happen for me one way or the other, right? But to see the tax manager, right, keep reiterating this was the rules that we created. This is the rules that we came, like it was more like, no, she is my partner on this during this season. She is my team, and this is how we go about it. This is what we do, right? Whereas my boss is always trying to, oh, well, Yuli's a manager. He's a manager. He's a manager. And it's like, yeah, but he's not the one managing, right? He's the face as management, but he is not just solely managing this team. There's no way. Like, I'm going to be honest, he could not do it by himself. So for the tax manager to recognize me, to really like reiterate, like, this is my team, this is who you answer to. If I'm not here, this is like reiterating those things, I think is very imperative, especially when everybody sees one person as a face, because as a man and a woman, men are not likely to listen to me when that level of role, like that role has not been really established. They're going to go to the manager because in their minds that is the manager, and there was a ton of pushback about that too. But they're the manager, right? But it's like, no, processes and procedures means you come to me first, and if I escalate it and or if it needs to be escalated, it goes to the tax manager, right? So understanding that there are levels to leadership, I'm learning part of the reason, obviously, the person who is tax manager had seniority. That's just the reality of it. They were there a lot longer than me. But then two, I'm working on being more, taking on things that are not being so making everything about me. Meaning that one of the things I'm learning is that managing is not me demanding, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. It's more of me trusting my team to get it done. And I think part of the issue is last year, I didn't know how trustworthy they were. You're dealing with a bunch of men. Now, if you put women on my team who really have a track record of working hard, then yeah, I'd take them all day, right? And I would be more trusting of them. But because you're dealing with men who, they don't always follow, men are just, they're different in the way that they work, right? And I'm not saying all men, but at least in this field, I'm a woman, I'm the one keeping the glue together. I'm the one ironing out those processes, making sure they're actually getting done, right? That's like a lot of my role. So I just feel like I'm learning and I understand why I wasn't made a manager, but I'm also looking at my boss like, homie, I only got 2 more years of school. Like, honestly, I got 3. Oh, he didn't have to do that? That's another tax guy. Hey, I'm like, I'm sure he sees me. His car, old man be sharp, right? And he's a tax professional too. These people really, you could tell they make bank, right? But he's driving a little crappy ass car that's got like dents in it from like fucking like hail and all that. And I'm like, damn, I'm over here driving a nice ass car. I don't know. It's to each his own, right? I ain't judging, but maybe I need to tone my taste down or something. But I learned that, like I said, I got a little bit that I need to work on, right? I think some of my experience here in Colorado has really put me on the defensive in the sense that I do not trust white people, and I don't mean it like that. I'm genuinely sorry, but every circumstance I've been in, it feels like, I'm gonna tell you now, the circumstance I'm in today, this is the first time I've been able to actually visibly be upset on a job and not get fired, right? To visibly have an attitude or appear to be frustrated and not have to worry about losing my job. I'm actually able to communicate. I'm actually able to be indifferent about certain things and not have to worry about what that means for me. And I think that that's imperative. So a lot of times I would see certain things as an attack on me because it was utilized as an attack before. Now I'm being shown that that's not how everybody operates, right? And so it's allowing me to see that people are not black and white. Whereas I came from a real, this is right, this is wrong. Now I'm starting to see, okay, if I manage people, I can't manage all of them the same way, right? Where I may be able to be a little bit short and direct with this person, I may have to use a little bit of cool, a little bit of laughter to get this person to do what I need them to do. And I feel like all year long, I've really had practice with doing that. So this year, my goal is to really start walking as a manager, not taking things personal, right? Not getting upset when people, and again, they don't see this, but obviously my boss and I are close enough where he knows these things about me, right? So me not getting upset and or feeling attacked and or taking it personal, that's really what it is a big deal, and it's going to be difficult. But again, I feel like I put in enough time with this company to know that the end goal is how can we help each other grow? What can we do to help each other? So I'm real excited. Like I said, I'm glad that my boss actually stayed out of the meetings this time around. So this hype on who's the tax manager, that shit was nipped in the bud. And then the tax manager is letting everybody know, hey, look, Cece and I, we created this together. We're setting the rules. We set the standard. And we actually met and we created the rules. None of the rules changed. It was like, hey, what do you think should be? Him and I sat down and talked. That is now the rules. So I have very much a piece of and a part of the processes that we're going to see this year that are very much different than last year. And I actually had a voice. I actually had a fucking say. And I think that's important, is recognizing, again, some of it is on me. I think a lot of it is on my boss, right? Because it's easy to get into this bro man ship, and I'm not a man. So I don't have that same capacity as the men do with each other, right? So it's easy to hype your boy up, right? It's not always easy to hype the missing link or the other piece to it, because, again, you're trying to set a precedence, but you're forgetting about his other half. It's like, if I was married to somebody, you hype up my husband so much, people don't even know he got a wife, right? Same concept. So I do feel like some of that was on my boss. Again, I think he was trying to, really set the precedence of who the manager is. But I'm like, bro, I'm managing too. I manage probably 10 times more than he does. They just don't know, like, on the face side of things. The tax manager would not disagree, right? My boss would not disagree. But for face wise, I am not that face. So when I go and ask for something to get done, I'm getting all the attitudes and all the nonsense and all the bullshit because they don't feel that they have to respect me in that position, which, yeah, you do. So it's cool to see it. Like I said, I'm not, I appreciate this growth we've got here. Let's see what this tax season does. This year, I'm really big on pushing my business. I'm going to do a hell of a lot more advertising than I did. I think I'm going to stick with what I've already been utilizing because it has brought in good clients. I've had the same clients for God knows how long. So I only intend on picking up more clients. And the beauty of me working for somebody else is I do have the ability to drop clients if I feel like they're going to be difficult, a hard time, whatever. So that's where I'm at, y'all. That's my take on everything. I'm real excited. I'm excited to see what this season is going to bring in and then the opportunities that come afterwards. My boss has only got me. I mean, they're going to have to figure something out Because I know for a fact I'm not going to be here forever. In his mind, he thinks I'm going to be here forever. So I just allow him to think what he wants to think. But my plans are already set in stone, essentially, right? I'm here to gain the experience, to learn, to know how a business in this industry is ran. Like, I'm paying attention to so much more than just taxes, right? I'm learning and I'm soaking up game. So I appreciate it. I'm excited. Or I'm ready to see where things go. Our goal this year is 4 million. If we can hit above 4 million, cool. If not, we did our goal, right? So that's all I got to say on the matter, y'all. With that being said, I'm out.